Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Adima. Today we'll be learning how to make this front and back cowl neck top. If it's something you're interested in learning, please keep watching. Thank you. So the first step will be for us to draft our basic bodice pattern. Right now I'm ruling out my starting line, and then I would mark my shoulder to waist measurement, which is 16 inches, and my top length measurement, which is 19 inches. Please do well to use your own measurements. If you don't know how to draft a basic bodice pattern, I have a detailed tutorial on my channel. I would link it up. Please do well to watch the video and learn. So now I would place my shoulder measurements divided by 2. My shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2, that's 8 inches. And then I will mark my neck width. For this tutorial, I used a neck width of 5.5 inches. That's because I wanted the neck to be wide. And then a neck depth of 1 inch. I won't really be making use of that neck depth, but I'm just marking it for the sake of drafting of the basic bodice pattern. So I decided to darken it. I'll use my free hand to curve it out. And I'll be going down from the shoulder by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, just like you see me doing. And then I'll connect that to the neck point. And then I would put from that shoulder slope, I'll place my chest measurement. To get your chest measurements, you divide your bust by 6 and add 1.5 inches. So what I had when I did that was 7.5. Please make sure you're using your own measurements. So I just marked those points to be able to rule out my chest line. And now I labeled all the points. I placed I transferred my shoulder width down there just so I can mark out my armhole curve well. So I divided what I had on that line by 2 and marked it, and then came inward by 1/2 inch. So I just used my ruler to connect from the shoulder point to that 1/2 inch point, and then use my curve to curve it just like you're seeing me doing. And now I placed my bust measurement divided by 2 and added 1.5 inch allowance, 1/2 inch for ease, 1 inch for joining. So I also marked my waist measurements divided by 4 and added 1.5 as well. And then I put my upper hip measurements at this blouse length points, and I also added 1.5 inch allowance. Now I'm just joining the points using my curve. Notice the way I'm placing the curves. So I'm using my curve to smoothen out that point so I won't have any sharp edges. And now I'm cutting everything out. If you have any confusion, please do well to make reference to my basic bodice pattern tutorial. This particular pattern doesn't have a dart because I don't want to put a dart in this top. If you've watched this video to this point and you've not subscribed, why? Please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my video. Also comment if there's any video you want me to do, you can suggest it in the comment section. So what I did was I came upwards at that waist point by 1 inch because I didn't want the waist to be straight. I wanted it to be a little bit slant. So after coming up now, I'm just cutting it out. So I'll be slashing my pattern from the chest line up until the end, but I'm not slashing it completely. Just notice where I stopped. This is what is going to give it the cowl effect. So now I'm spreading it out on my fabric. I've placed my pattern on my fabric. Notice how I placed it. So I opened it out by 7.5 inches, but I would advise you to use less. So now from that shoulder line, I just marked a straight line across my fabric, and I placed what I had left behind the fabric so it will serve as my facing inside. So now all I'm doing is to cut out the what I have. So at the shoulder point, I left half-inch allowance, and at the length of the top, I left 1 inch allowance. That is just to enable me turn that part. So this allowance at the side was added in the pattern, so that's why they add allowance at the side. So we're going to do the same thing at the back using the same slash and spread method, because there's also a cowl effect at the back. Make sure you leave about 13 inches above your fabric to enable you turn it inside for your facing. So it's basically the same thing. You didn't get it the first time, look at it the second time. For the back, I opened it up by about 5 inches. So I'd advise you use maybe the same 5 inches for the front and the back, or 4 inches for the back and 5 inches for the front. For me, I used 5 inches here. Make sure if your fabric moves around like mine, make sure you pin your pattern to your fabric, because my fabric kept on dancing, so I had to pin it. And now from that shoulder line, just mark a straight line across, and on that straight line, fold it inward like I did. So whatever you folded inward will serve as your facing. And then leave half-inch at the shoulder point. I cut the armhole exactly as it is because it's sleeveless top. And then the sides, I had already added allowance in the pattern, so there was no need for me to add allowance there. And the hem of the dress, I added 1 inch allowance. The next step will be for me to join the shoulders. So I just placed the fabrics right sides facing each other, and then I joined the shoulder points together. And for what I have up, I just turned the lining point to the back of the fabric. I don't know if you understand, but just watch carefully, you would understand. So the same thing I did again, placed it together and turned and flipped the lining part to the back. It's just a normal way you would join your shoulder of any dress. So I used my pin to secure it, and then I went ahead to join it. After joining, this is what I had, very neat finish. The next step will be for me to join the sides of my top. So I just arranged everything together and then went ahead to join it off camera. So I've joined it. Please don't be like me. I forgot to fold in the hem of my facing. Do that. Make sure that you do that. So the next step will be for us to fold the hem of the dress. So lastly, I used bias tape to turn the armhole. So that's basically it for the tutorial. I did that off camera. This is the final look. Please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video. Also leave your comments down below. And if you have any video you'd like me to do, kindly suggest it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.